U.S. stock futures pointed to a lower open on Wednesday as investors weighed weaker than expected corporate earnings. Good morning, I'm Jessica Menton with your morning market update.
For more on those economic issues, though, in New York, Jessica Menton, business reporter for the International Business Times. Jessica, I'm looking at this, and we have been watching this so keenly.
Say Greece leaves the Eurozone, would other highly indebted countries like Spain and Italy want to leave as well? And those countries are so much bigger of a part of Europe's overall economy.
Joining me here in studio, Jessica Menton, reporter with the International Business Times.
So you look at the U.S. dollar. Now, it's been gaining strength against the euro. Now, that sounds good for us because you'd think a stronger dollar, that's great purchasing power for you and me. But that's not exactly good when it comes to American corporate bottom lines. They are a commonwealth, so they can't exactly file for Chapter 9 bankruptcy like Detroit did a couple of years ago.
Something that doesn't get talked about enough, there are countries that are not even in the European Union, such as Kosovo and Montenegro, that actually use the euro as their de facto currency. So it is possible, say they end up leaving the Eurozone, they could still use the euro. But even if there is a no vote, that does not necessarily mean overnight they will be out of the Eurozone.
So Jeff, you've been down here for over 3 decades now. How are things different than when you first started out? On the earnings front, Ford beat estimates and raised its guidance, sending shares up more than 3% in pre-market trading. The automaker earned 45 cents per share for the third quarter, 7 cents above estimates, and also raised its profit and auto operating margin forecast for the full year. As the price of gold is falling, the dollar is actually rising. Now, what exactly is going on between the relationship with the two? We're here on the CME floor in New York, and we're going to talk to a few experts to see exactly what's going on. Now, today is that huge day everyone has been waiting for that big Fed announcement, and they ended up not tapering. And a lot of people thought there was going to be this light taper scenario where they're going to scale back about $5 to $10 billion, and that didn't happen. What was the reaction on the floor to that? And when I think of the old days of trading, I think of, traders yelling out, doing the hand signals, but it really isn't like that anymore. It's more electronic. And how many people have dwindled down now from the floor? And another busy day for earnings. Procter & Gamble edged higher after the Dow component posted a quarterly profit that met Wall Street expectations, helped by growth overseas, cost cuts, and a lower tax rate. Alan, we did see the unemployment rate tick down a little bit, but really there weren't as many jobs created in July as the previous month. So as we do see the participation rate in the labor force continue to remain at a 30-year low, it sort of has this inverse effect on the unemployment number. What is it that we really need to be focusing on when we do see these jobs report coming out? Be sure to check back with me at midday trading for my preview of Microsoft's earnings that are out on Thursday.